Okay, so we've learned how to make basics charts in the last video, and now we're going to learn how to put them where we want them and make them look different and do things like that. So the first thing I'm going to do is put the chart, the pie chart, on a separate page. So I'm going to click on the pie chart. Remember, we have to click on the chart before we can get the chart tools up. And then I'm going to click on the Design tab. Now, once I click on the Design tab, I can come over here and I can move the location, the chart location. All right. I want to put this right now, it's in County Donations, on the County Donations page. I want to put it on its own place, on its own sheet. Now remember, okay, these charts are not part of each spreadsheet. They are objects that are laid on top of the spreadsheet. Therefore, we can move them around. So we're going to move this one to its own sheet, and we're going to call that sheet Pie Chart 2012. Okay. And remember, I clicked on the pie chart, I went to the chart tools, clicked on the Design tab, then clicked on the Move Chart Location. I then clicked the radio button and typed in the name. Okay, once you click the OK on the Move Chart Location, this is what will come up. So this is your pie chart, and notice it's the same thing as we had on the other County Donation sheet. However, now it's on its own page. So now we're going to do some things so that we can work with the change it. Okay, hang on here a minute. And we're going to select Layout 1 in the Chart Layouts group. That's Style 2. Hang on a minute. Oops, I'm in the wrong one. I'm on Styles, not Layouts. Okay. And let's see. Layout 1. Alright. Now notice that Layout 1 has a title, and it also is going to show the percentages and the values. So when we apply Layout 1, here's our title, here's our name of our county, and here's the percentage to which they the percentages for 2012. Pie charts are used to show values in 100%. So when we look at it like this, that's what it's going to look like. Alright, so this is the chart title placeholder. Okay? It's a big fancy name for another object that sits on top of the chart. So I clicked it once to select it, and then I clicked it a second time to get my insertion point there. And so now I'm going to say 2012 donations. All right. And then, okay, hang on. Once I click the Enter key, it finally didn't go away. Okay, you hit the Enter key, and I believe that little box is supposed to go away. But if not, if you click anywhere out here, it will go away. Okay? All right. So we're going to go back, and we're going to make some changes. So we're going to take a look at some things. Now, one of the things I wanted to point out to you, you can make all kinds of chart style changes. Okay. Some of my favorites are the ones that look like this. I think the black really dramatically shows up. Now you have a problem if you're going to do that though, because over here these numbers and stuff don't show up too well. So you can actually just click on the data labels, click on font, font color, go to black, and OK. And then they'll all change to black, and now you can actually see things. Alright, notice that the title changed automatically when we changed to the black background. Okay, we're going to go back to County Donations now, and we're on the clustered column chart. And I clicked on the chart to select it. Alright, and then I'm going to go to Select Data. Now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to change, because I'm going to take the average out of this. Okay, so I can make all kind of changes here, and there's a couple different ways to do it. Right? First off, I'm going to click on the average. All right, and I'm going to remove the average. Okay. Now, the next thing I'm going to do, make sure we got all those in there. I'm going to click OK here because I removed the average. So when I click OK, all right, it went away from here, but it didn't go away from here. Now the easiest way to get it away from here, it did go away from there. Yeah, it did. Okay. 2012 is now purple, and the other was, what was it? It was different color blue, wasn't it? I just wasn't looking at it. Right. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to switch the row and the column data. Right now, on your x-axis, you have Blount, Madison, Lauderdale, the names of the counties. Okay? And over here, you have 2009, 10, 11, and 12. Right? When I switch the row and column data, notice that over here, I now have the counties, and in here, I now have the years. Okay? Madison still shows up as having the most, but it just shows it in a little bit of a different type of format. Now, I'm going to drag this over to the end of J, so we have a little bit more room here. All right. And we're going to take a look at some different chart types. Okay. So I can come over here, and you see where it says type? I'm going to change the chart type to a stacked column. Okay? Notice if I hover over these things, I get what I want. Okay, so I just want a plain stacked column. All right, and I'm going to click OK. All right, so when I do this, notice that I can make this, now I can take this back to I, because these are stacked. See the difference, okay? Is it easier for you or harder for you to see which one of the counties made the most, donated the most? It's still very plain because you have Madison as being the most. Some people like the other ones better because they can tell instantly by where the on the clustered columns where the lines are. Okay. Now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to insert what's called a spark line. Okay. Now I'm going to go to cell G4, which is all the way over here, and I'm going to show trends. Now what a spark line does is it shows if it's going up, is it going down, what's it doing. Alright, so I'm going to click here for average, then I'm going to click on my format painter, copy that over to trends. So now it's the same format as all of my other column headings. I'm going to click in cell G5. I want to make sure I have the right cell. I'm going to click Insert and Line. Okay. And that, see where it says spark lines right here? This is your spark line. So you can do a line, you can do all different kinds of things. We want a line. All right. And the range, the data range we want is from B5 through E11. Okay. All right. So then we're going to go okay, now the reason you want to include the totals in here is when they show the trend, you want to see what the total trend. Maybe one county is going way up, but everybody else is falling off, so the total overall is down. All right, and it doesn't appear that this is the case. Anyway, so then you need to know where you're going to put it. We're going to click here, and then we're going to drag down here. All right, and then we're going to click OK. Notice that now your line should be obvious that we went up, we went down a little bit, and now we're on our way back up. The total shows the same trend. Blount had less of a fall off. Some of the others had higher peaks. Madison had a higher peak and a lower valley, but is on his way up. So it all depends upon how you look at it. That's the type of thing that you can do with this. Okay, so we're not going to do the spark lines. We're going to just click up here so something else is inserted. Okay, so I'm going to click File, and I want to say Print. But I don't want to print this. All right, so I don't want to print this first. I want the other page to come out first. If you look down here, you can click over Next Page. Okay, but that's not what I wanted, was it? All right, when you're working with this, okay, you have to be careful. I don't want this. I want the pie sheet, and I forgot to click on the pie sheet before I hit print. So I'm going to come back over here, and I'm going to click on this sheet, and now I will click File, Print, and I'm not actually going to print this. But that, once your printer's set up, then you just simply click Print. Point is, each spreadsheet will print on its own unless you select multiple spreadsheets, which we're not going to talk about right now. All right. So this is the end of the second skills for the second hands-on exercises, and we'll be back in just a few minutes on another video and talk about the last hands-on exercise skills, which have to do with chart layout. Till then, bye-bye.